Hello everyone, it's Hooded Afro. And after um after watching King and Queen of the Ring, my mistake, I thought it would only be fitting to give you guys sort of a review of it. Well, I wouldn't say review. I shouldn't say review. I should say more like overall what went down or what transpired. Yeah, actually, a review. What I think WWE has done over the past year and a half, they have changed completely. With Paul Levesque in charge, again, I made some very, very, very heavy complaints about Vince. And my videos on YouTube, or my live streams on video, always got copyrighted for some reason. And I remember one time it featured literally the transition for the title belt. And it was always these little things when he was in charge. Now that he's not in charge, hopefully it doesn't do this. I want to speak about the positive and not the negative. So, the positives of having Triple H in charge is meaning that he can work around with a bunch of gimmicks. For example, R-Truth and Miz are the tag team champions, the world tag team champions, the pizza plate champions. Okay, maybe that was a little bit disrespectful, but you guys understand. Paper champions. Oh my god, I keep doing it again. Anyway, the whole point of what Triple H is trying to do is a vision. If you're in his vision, that's perfect. And if you're not in his vision, well, it's more of just like we'll get to you when we get to you. Or as much as a lot of people want this opportunity, want this moment, it's more of like, hold on, slow it down, right? Let's take a deep breath and let's breathe out. Let's just essentially like hold off and wait and slow the pace down. And I think that's pretty great with the matches that he held at King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring. It was really exciting to see and to raise the stakes of having the winner of that face the champion of their brand. It's kind of interesting to see. So, for example, of course, Liv Morgan's now the new women's champion. Everybody saw that, right? I'm sorry about the women's tag team champion. I don't have Jade Cargill, so you have to hold on to that. But Liv Morgan winning the title essentially sets up more of the arc of like, I'm gonna take everything from you. It said her revenge tour story is complete. So what's next for Liv Morgan moving forward? Well, the next thing for Liv Morgan moving forward would essentially be Rhea Ripley whenever she returns. And mind you, she will have everything in the palm of her hand. The women's world heavyweight champion is essentially what Liv Morgan has right now. After that, we don't know. All we know is that Rhea Ripley's looking to take it back from her. And it's a really good story. I saw it completely different, and I think everybody saw it different. From what I originally saw the story going, was that Rhea Ripley, if Liv didn't do what she did, let's just say Liv didn't do what she did. When Rhea Ripley came back bigger, stronger than ever, Becky was a minor holder, title holder. Can't believe I juggled the words. But Becky essentially to me was a title holder for Rhea Ripley to come back bigger and stronger, or to possibly set up a world championship match. I love that they didn't jump the gun with Liv Morgan in the Battle Royal, even though I still think that she should have won. Coming up second in everything really kind of foreshadowed what would eventually be Liv Morgan winning the championship. So, for my thought here is that when Rhea Ripley comes back, I don't know when she comes back, but when she does, she is taking that world title from Liv Morgan. And when she does, it's going to be a lot of heat. A lot of heat. And one of the things that we can transition out of is Dominic Mysterio turning on Rhea Ripley. Right? I mean, you've been with mommy for so long, you're starting to find a new mommy. A lot of people are putting up Rhea versus Liv with Dominic, custody of Dominic memes. It's kind of funny. But Liv Morgan winning the title was a good decision. I love that Triple H made that decision. A lot of people could be looking at it as bad, as wrong. The only bad thing about this, in wholehearted honesty, is that Becky Lynch won the championship on a Raw, and because of Rhea Ripley's injury, and to hold it from that point to King and Queen of the Ring is not a title. It's not, to me and to my cousin. We both agree it is not considered a title run. To me, what a title run is that you are the champion for a certain amount of time, for a certain current amount of period of time, and there's a certain one to be considered a championship run. We don't count a week, we don't count a day, we don't count 3 days, we don't count 5 days, we don't even count a month. We count 3 months as a run, a good title run. A good title run is 3 months, in my opinion. A great title run is at least a year. And a phenomenal title run is basically Roman Reigns. I kind of set the bar high. I really set the bar high. But again, Liv Morgan defeated Becky Lynch, and I'm not mad. It was the battle of the spears, if anything. It was the battle of Brittany versus Brittany, and a lot of people, and that's why I wondered why Becky Lynch came out looking like, she literally came out looking like she was a secretary, or she was like an assistant. Oh, I got your coffee, sir. And Liv Morgan came out in her little red, suit. And I did make the prediction that Liv Morgan would win because of Dominic Mysterio. So there's a lot riding on that feud alone, and I just wanted to touch on that feud and where it could be leading into the future. As for in the future, Liv Morgan will lose to Rhea Ripley. Hopefully that is the case, because I think what they originally wanted to do was Gable. Yeah, because of Rhea Ripley's injury, it kind of forced them to do something different. So it will lead into the next segment, which is perfect. So I believe originally they wanted to do a triple threat match by this point. So Rhea Ripley would win her championship back. That battle royal for the championship should have been Rhea Ripley versus Becky for the title, where she would win it back. And she would hold it until, of course, SummerSlam. I think Rhea would most likely hold it until SummerSlam or next year's WrestleMania, which Liv Morgan would have won the Royal Rumble and win, the match at WrestleMania. But here at SummerSlam, it feels right to do. But at King and Queen of the Ring, for me, it feels like it was supposed to be a triple threat match. It was supposed to be Becky versus Rhea versus Liv Morgan. And the reason we didn't get that is because of Liv Morgan attacking Rhea Ripley. So it all kind of fits in to the kind of point of that Rhea Ripley was essentially supposed to hold the championship for longer, and Liv Morgan was supposed to be the one to take it. And everybody knows that was the original plan. And this was another original plan that was supposed to be a triple threat match. Hence, we didn't get that triple threat match. Instead, we did get a triple threat match, but it was for the IC title. Ladies and gentlemen, Sami Zayn defeated Bronson Reed and Chad Gable. A long-awaited feud, of course, between Chad Gable and Sami Zayn, which was supposed to either climax or at least get close enough in the feud here with Sami Zayn. Gable and Sami Zayn had more of a feud here. It wasn't, I wouldn't want to say it's predictable. I want to say more of that there's great storytelling between the two men. Gable trained Sami Zayn so hard to win the championship, into which he did against Gunther, ending a 666-day title reign. And you guys can't see it, but I'm kind of giving the air quotes of, what that means. 666. Everybody should know. But Sami Zayn felt right, along with Chad Gable. I'm not dissing Chad Gable. Me and my cousin, actually, we talked about Gable winning, and we thought of a great idea for Gable here, and it was like, if Gable won, what happens if Gable wins? What would WWE do with him? I feel like Gable would turn into Kurt Angle. Gable would turn into a whole Perk Gable, and I've seen the signs, I've heard the laughs, I heard the giggles, I've heard all of it. Me and my cousin could both see, and I feel like hopefully you guys could see through our eyes, just like how you see on the screen through your eyes, that Chad Gable is embracing more of a leadership role. So he is a leader as of right now. He's leading Alpha Academy. He's the teacher, and everybody else is the students, right? But when we leaders tend to take it a step further and try, instead of pushing them and pushing ourselves to be higher than what we are, that tends to become what is called a dictator. And if Sami Zayn lost the title to Chad Gable at King and Queen of the Ring, he would have, in my eyes, became a dictator. He has the championship, and he gets to pretty much dictate who he wants to train, who his trainees are. It would be a whole fest of berating and belittling his own academy. And for somebody like Gable to fucking take the title and wear the Armani suits, the glasses, and be all fitted and nice and have his family there, it's all touching, and I think it would be a great story, especially if Chad Gable wins. One of my further predictions, because of this triple threat happening, is that Gable wins the Intercontinental Championship at Money in the Bank, if that's WWE's plans. If Hunter decides to push the narrative that Gable deserves one more chance against Sami Zayn, because he believes that Sami Zayn is not rightfully the champion that we all want. He's the champion, Gable's the champion that everybody needs. Then I feel like Gable will win the championship in Sami Zayn's hometown. But at the same time, it could also close out a story. Hence why I say Gable and Sami should fight each other at Money in the Bank. It's in Toronto. The whole story between them started in Canada. Started in Toronto, I believe. Toronto, Ontario. Yeah. So, if they want to change champions here, give Sami Zayn something else to do. Maybe even get a chance to face, Damian Priest or Drew McIntyre, or be on the top list instead of being in that mid-card title run right now. I think it would be awesome to do that. Let Gable run that division, And I already know that Jason Jordan's already producing most of the matches, so I know Jason Jordan's putting in the effort to wanting to have Gable be a singles champion, which I've been pushing since was it 2016? No. I've actually pushed for Gable when he was a single superstar and he kept getting put in tag teams. When he was a single superstar, when he was just when he had the longer hair and he wrestled with Kurt Angle, and I think he should have been the United States champion. That would have been even perfect. All in all, I still think Sami Zayn having this great story with Gable is the right move, especially from Hunter's point of view. I know Bronson retaking the pinfall was the right call because the only thing he wanted was the Intercontinental Championship, which shows you that some of these wrestlers don't care about what's going on between other two people. It's like, move the fuck out of my way. Let me get the championship. Let me take it off your hands so you guys can just rumble and get at it. And get it on. Love you, Teddy. Oh, yeah. For the superstars, for the King and Queen of the Ring, because I know a lot of people kind of saw this. I don't even know if she's... I don't think... Actually, is she in the game? No, she's not in the game. Nia Jax won. She'll be in later. Nia Jax won the Queen of the Ring, and I knew that this was going to happen by the moment that she won because Jade disqualified her. Let me touch on that, too, because that's interesting to talk about. So, Jade Cargill got herself disqualified, hitting Nia Jax with a chair on SmackDown. I thought it was stupid. I thought it was ridiculous. I didn't know what the fuck Hunter was doing. I questioned it constantly and thought about it. And it kind of sucks because you got to think, why in the fuck? Why would you do that? Why did you ruin that from, I've always seen champions versus champions like Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair would not be wrong to do because it's been like Eddie versus Ray for the constant who knows, or Claudio versus Sheamus. Like, we've always seen that. There's no wrong or harm in that. So not giving us that kind of sucks. But SmackDown had their eye on Nia Jax for one reason, to make sure she won the Queen of the Ring. Why is that? Because Bayley doesn't have any fucking opponents on SmackDown, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. Chelsea Green doesn't count, and I know she's going to face Piper Niven at fucking Clash of the Castle. But ladies and gentlemen, do realize There is no other women. There's no women on SmackDown that they're utilizing, and I think that's a big important. This is some feedback for SmackDown. Utilize all the women you have on your roster. Zelina Vega is no longer there, and I think that's maybe a good thing. She was about to blow up on Adam Pearce, or no, Nick Aldis. She was going to blow up on Nick Aldis if she stayed. But I think when it comes down to the women's division on SmackDown, they have not that many people, and they have to utilize some of what they have and what they don't have. And it's more of relying on, well, we got to bring this person in to kind of spice things up. So Bayley's at that stage where, like, she will lose the championship probably at SummerSlam. And for anybody wondering, like, Bayley is facing Nia Jax at SummerSlam, ladies and gentlemen. There's no way they drop the ball and do something different. The showing, what it's gonna resemble, or what's gonna resemble and what I think should be, it should resemble Bayley versus Nia Jax at SummerSlam should resemble Vader versus Shawn Michaels, or Yokozuna versus Lex Luger. Unfortunately, by how we know how this goes, that's how WWE should run it. They should run it like Vader and Shawn Michaels. They should run it like Yokozuna versus Lex Luger, but without the double count out. But it's somewhat, to me, going to feel like Jeff Jarrett versus Mabel. Why? I have no clue. I have no clue why that comes to me, why I feel like that's what it's going to be. I hope my expectations are right, because if they aren't, I will be kind of disappointed, and I don't want to be disappointed, and I know the fans don't want to be disappointed. I know Triple H is listening to us, he likes the feedback, and Triple H, Hunter, favorite wrestler, you are my favorite wrestler. I just want you to know I support you in your decisions, but please, this is something that I, as a wrestling fan, and I don't know how many people I speak for, feel that this should be the way to do it. Shawn Michaels versus Vader, or present it as Lex Luger versus Yokozuna, but make and without the double count out. Like, please do not end in double count out, because I will be double pissed. Now for the King of the Ring. Gunther and Randy Orton are two great superstars. They align perfectly in height, in strength, and in feat of strength. Or, well, that kind of means the same shit. But one thing they do have in common, though, one of the most common things is they're driven. They're motivated. Gunther is motivated, in my eyes, he's motivated in a way that he needs to be established. And Randy Orton's motivated in the way, like, I gotta win, I'm damn near 50, and I need more time. It's like the story they're doing with AJ Styles. So, when you put these two motivated men together, you're going to create something generational. You're going to create something extraordinary. So, I heard the controversy. I didn't see the ending because I was on my phone looking at the post on X or Twitter. Randy's shoulder was up by the third count, but Triple H saw it. He said the referee's decision is final. Gunther is the King of the Ring. I've already kind of gave him the crown. So there's no going back. But maybe the controversy was planted. You see, guys, sometimes we need to be able to plant a seed in order to grow a garden. And in most cases, since I'm really not PG on here, in order to have a kid, you got to plant the seed into, Yeah. So, when it comes to Randy Orton and Gunther's match for the King of the Ring, it was really good. Randy Orton played his part well. He's the Viper, the Apex Predator, and Gunther is the Ring General. So, of course, we got King Gunther and King Jax. But now, something with Gunther is that we have Gunther going to SummerSlam. Automatic ticket, bam, straight to SummerSlam. He most likely will face Damian Priest, but I'm gonna create something that WWE is already planning out, and I'm gonna tell you why that match is not happening. And if it does, it's only happening because they want to get Gunther on as the champion. And Gunther will be champion, I promise you all. Listen to my words. Gunther will be champion either this year or next year. It's going to happen. World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther's going to get it. I promise you. Randy Orton. I want to start with Randy first. Randy Orton's shoulder not being on the map is going to create controversy. It's also going to create something with Randy where he feels like they fucked up, you know? He's going to be mad that this happened. He lost, you know? He wants a rematch with Gunther, and obviously that can't happen because we got to move forward on our brand. You got to stay here. You can't just, you know, go running wild. And that's what's going to lead WWE to turn him heel. Hence, at SummerSlam, hopefully they plan this out where we can turn him heel by giving him a reason to turn heel. He keeps losing matches, you know, that he should have won, or that these calls that should have never been made. And this will give us a great pathway to Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, which is fucking perfect for SummerSlam. In Cleveland. But again, Randy Orton will turn heel because of the fact that he wants a rematch with Gunther and he's not getting it. He's not getting his way. Essentially, the old fucking baby bitch Orton move himself. Pulled again. Orton has pulled the same babyish bullshit again, like out of his ass constantly with this. But it works here. It works here because turning Randy Orton heel gives it a great pathway for Cody Rhodes to face him at SummerSlam. We just got to get through Money in the Bank and Clash of Castle. I don't think Cody's defending his title at Clash of Castle, but at Money in the Bank he should. I don't know against who, but he should. So Randy Orton will get to Cody. We're just taking it slow. And that's why a lot of people wanted Randy to win. Oh, my God, that means he's going to face Cody Rhodes because, you know, the winner of the King and Queen of the Ring got a title match for SummerSlam on their respective brands. So if Randy had won, he'd face Cody. That decision was not made because they wanted Gunther. Everybody wanted Gunther. I think even when they did the 2021 King of the Ring, they wanted kind of Gunther, but they were like, nah, we're going to give it to Xavier Woods because he's been wanting this for years. And I agree. It's a great step. So now Gunther. Gunther is going to SummerSlam, and he's facing Damian Priest. The World Heavyweight Champion, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. Let me tell you why that's not happening. So, to explain it all, we need to start where it all started first. It all starts at WrestleMania. For anybody wondering why the fuck would it start at WrestleMania? Well, because Gunther lost his championship that night. But before that, or well, after that, because I think it happened, what was it, night one? I think it happened night one. No. I don't care. Seth Rollins lost his title to Drew McIntyre. All Drew McIntyre had to do was go to his wife, kiss her, and say goodbye to CM Punk and leave with the championship. That's all he had to do. But he gloated. His obsession with Punk got to him. Punk swept him off of the announce table. Priest came in, took the championship, cashed in his Money in the Bank, took the championship away, and we have Damian Priest as champion right freaking now. Drew McIntyre is getting his rematch at Clash of the Castle in Scotland, which is, again, the greatest move to be pulled here because not only is Drew from Scotland, it gets people, you know, and I also believe, just a little side note here, I believe that when we are in, you know, whether it's a Raw or SmackDown or just a pay-per-view, I believe in a pay-per-view in general, superstars who are from there should be on the show, automatically, whether it's for the title or not, you know? So, for example, if it's Atlanta, Georgia, Cody, AJ Styles, anybody who's from Atlanta, or anybody, just to give an example, that's who they should be on the card. So people like Piper Niven, Nikki Cross, hopefully, and Drew McIntyre, they're going to be in Scotland because they are Scottish and representing the culture. I love it. I personally love it. But let me tell you why. Let's go back to now why Gunther is not facing Damian Priest or Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. Because McIntyre is going to get screwed by CM Punk. Everybody should know this by now. Punk is going to screw McIntyre out of that championship match at Glasgow, to rub it in his face, to stick it to him again, and it's going to lead to SummerSlam when CM Punk is medically cleared to compete, and we're going to get CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, and oh boy, will it be bloody? Will it be a massacre? Will McIntyre be like, McIntyre might, that's a hard one to predict. One of the things that's literally set up. One of the things that's also needs to be established is what's going to happen at Money in the Bank, because that is the biggest turnaround before SummerSlam. You see, one of the things that is going to happen is McIntyre is not, and I mean not, winning the World Championship in Glasgow. Nor is he going to win that Money in the Bank briefcase. Okay? Because they're most likely going to put him in that match. Oh, guarantee they're going to put him in that match. CM Punk's going to screw him again, so he can't win it. But it's going to happen. Because that's good storytelling right there. Especially if Punk's going to keep screwing him constantly. So when we get to Money in the Bank, so let's just already kind of establish ourselves. WrestleMania, Damian Priest is the world champion. Backlash defeated Uso. Clash of Castle defeats McIntyre because of Punk. Money in the Bank, I had my changes about who wins and who really, where it really goes. For the women's Money in the Bank, it's pretty self-explanatory. Tiffany Stratton wins the Money in the Bank. I don't think anybody would disagree with me on that. Because Tiffany Stratton, she's been trying to push and push and push, and I think a lot of people want her to succeed. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people want her to succeed. But then who knows? Next year could be Money in the Bank. I mean, next year they're going to be, 2026, 2 nights in Minneapolis. They might actually put her Money in the Bank winner for next year. So, again, I think this year would be nice for her to win it. Maybe not. Who knows? We don't know who's actually, I just know somebody from SmackDown needs to win the women's, briefcase. And Tiffany Stratton should be the one to do it. As for the men's, though, originally I thought of Andrade, because they never really did anything with Andrade. They've only put him along with, the LWO and the Judgment Day. But I got to really thinking, when Gunther actually won the King of the Ring, I got to brainstorming and thinking what WWE could do and what Triple H is thinking of. And oh my God, did it hit me like a fucking a railroad cart, or fuck a railroad cart, a train or a bus. That was a reference to Darby Allin, or anybody wondering. No, so it got me thinking, why doesn't Damian Priest defend the title against Andrade? Shit, I mean, it's not like we haven't seen that before. Or you want real storytelling, you change the title 2 times. McIntyre wins it in Glasgow. He faces Andrade, which will be a callback to NXT. Punk tries to screw him out of this one, but McIntyre retains. Right? But then, because this is a fucking straight callback to WrestleMania. Okay? Straight ass callback to WrestleMania. Instead of having, McIntyre tries to get screwed by CM Punk. CM Punk, his little deviant plan doesn't work. McIntyre defeats Andrade. CM Punk basically hits him with a GTS, or proves that he's here, he's back. We hear after winning the money, ladies and gentlemen, after winning the Money in the Bank briefcase, burn it down. Yes, guys, stick with me on this. Damian Priest will most likely face Andrade at WrestleMania. WrestleMania. Money in the Bank. Because there's 2 different ways you could go about it. Drew could win it at Glasgow, face Andrade, beat him. Seth Rollins cashes in and wins the title. Or you could do it the most simpler way, which is the way I think they're going. I just put a little more into it, more thought. The way that I think it will go is Priest defeats McIntyre because of Punk. McIntyre gets screwed in the Money in the Bank ladder match because of Punk. Seth Rollins comes back and wins the Money in the Bank briefcase, cashes in on Priest the same night after he faces Andrade, wins the championship back, only to lose it to Gunther at SummerSlam. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think there's any possible way you could fucking twist this into the way you think it should be. There's a lot of great, and the characters involved make sense because Triple H knows his shit. He knows what he did in NXT, and he's bringing it to life in the main roster, and I love it. I am fucking happy about it. So, to break it down to what I think is going to happen, because Gunther wins and he's going to SummerSlam, McIntyre and Priest face each other in Glasgow. Priest retains because Punk screwed McIntyre again out of the championship. Priest then faces Andrade to close this story, or close this little incident here, for the world title at Money in the Bank. Seth Rollins returns, wins the men's Money in the Bank, and cashes in on Damian Priest because he cashed in on McIntyre. Though he cashed in on McIntyre, it comes all the way fully around. Seth Rollins cashes in on Damian Priest, wins the title back, only for Gunther to take the title 3 to 4 weeks later at SummerSlam. I'm not making this up. That is what I think Triple H is going with. And if I already got it, please, WWE, if I had said anything, if I know your plan, if I already know your plan, if I know what's going to happen in the future, please go ahead, either freaking copyright strike this or freaking try not to get this uploaded. Try not to get this uploaded to YouTube. I'm telling you. I'm right. And I know your plan. I feel like I do. Maybe I feel like I do. Maybe I don't know what you got in store. Be a whole little plot twist. But when I'm right, I'm right. And the reason why Gunther's going to take it from Rollins and not Priest or Andrade or anybody else is because of what Gunther told Seth way before WrestleMania. He told Seth, I'm going to break you. If nobody remembers that, go to WWE, look up, go back to all the Raws, look back a few months even before like WrestleMania, look back, look for the Raw where Gunther and Seth Rollins are in the ring, champion to champion. I'm going to break you. I'm going to hurt. I'm going to take that away from you. Somewhere, like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And it's going to be a miracle. So WWE, if I got your number, if I know what's going to happen and what isn't going to happen, if I was right about that whole breakdown, please take this video off of YouTube. But off of the World Heavyweight Champion, let's talk about Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul going for their champion versus champion title match. This match was insane. Logan Paul was the one who actually got them to use the drone shot where they spun around before he did the fucking frog splash, which looked insane. Drank some Prime, threw it into the crowd. Everybody got wet. But my goodness. For anybody wondering why this was like Black Panther, let me tell you why I got Black Panther vibes from this. Not from just this match, but from the poster. So the build up to the match itself, essentially, is supposed. The Triple H posted wanted to do here was that he wanted to make it feel like Logan Paul has a chance. You know, even within the match itself. Logan Paul was put on a great performance. I'm not gonna lie. Like he excelled in performance here. He did a really good job. But the whole reason it referenced to Black Panther was because the whole build-up felt like the combat, the Wakandan combat in the movie when they stripped the powers of Black Panther from T'Challa and they're fighting, and when Killmonger says, this is your guy, this is your king, this is who's gonna lead you into the future. I felt that. I felt that because he's asking, he's not even he's asking, but he's also asking. He's asking it in the form of like, do you this is your guy? Look at me whooping his ass. I'm young, I'm talented, I'm great, I'm here. This guy's cheap, this guy's old, this guy's nobody. This guy's a nobody. I'm your new king. I'm the guy who's gonna rule WWE. I'm gonna be two belts Paul up in here. Exactly what he was trying to do. And that's what the whole build up felt like. But when we got to the match, oh, it was full Black Panther versus Golden Jaguar. It was full on Cody Rhodes was gonna whip his ass. You know? Logan Paul! What's up? You ain't never beaten me. Is that right? So Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes, really great fucking match. Oh, was it phenomenal? It was like AJ Styles, phenomenal. Cody has more to do. Sorry, more to do, and I think he's gonna have a match at Money in the Bank. I don't think he has a match in Glasgow. I don't think he has a match at Classic Castle. I do think he has a match at Money in the Bank, and hopefully he does. It could be against Kevin Owens, actually. It could be, because I know Logan Paul. They're aiming to put Logan Paul and LA Knight together. Finally, I've been asking for it for like ages for WrestleMania, but now SummerSlam, we most likely be getting Logan Paul and LA Knight. That will be good to see. That's Logan Paul's future. Cody Rhodes against Randy Orton. So again, no harm, no foul. It was a great pay-per-view, though. I enjoyed it. Oh yeah, and Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair defeated Candice and Indy on the pre-show with a wheelbarrow DDT into a German suplex. I thought it was awesome. But besides that, King and Queen of the Ring was really good. I thought I'd break this down, piece by piece, and leave this video up just in case this doesn't happen, because this I will delete this if I am wrong about Gunther facing Seth Rollins for the world title. I will delete this video if I am wrong by that point. But until then, it will stay up and you guys can watch. I won't edit it. I'll just put it up. So, I hope you guys enjoy this. I think me and my cousin are going to talk about it. We are going to decide to put Raw and SmackDown on on YouTube for Wednesdays after we do our SummerSlam, and probably keep it like that. Do them at the same time, kind of. So, who knows? But I'll leave that up for you guys to decide. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. WWE, like I said, I'll take the heat. I'll take it. If you guys 100%, if this is right, if this is 100% accurate, like I just cracked a freaking, he's like, God damn, who let him in on our secrets? Who's telling him this? Again, I'm only going based off of what I'm seeing on TV. It's the only logical explanation for King and Queen of the Ring. If I'm right, again, please, by all means, hit me with a striker. Hit me with a little copyright something. I don't know. Triple H, keep up the great work. You are doing phenomenal. I can't wait for Raw tonight. And happy Memorial's Day, everyone.